Warning, there will be spoilers for The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 5, titled The Pirate. If you haven't seen it, proceed with caution. I won't be holding back in this one. Not that I ever hold back. I don't. Why? Because I like talking about Star Wars without censorship. A non-spoiler review can be done on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or something. By just saying I liked it or didn't like it, and those one people did a thing, isn't all that satisfying. Just enter at your own risk. What's cracking, y'all? I knew today was going to be a big day for Star Wars. With The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 5, titled The Pirate, it seems I was right. Not just about it being a big Star Wars day, but about a couple different things. I know a lot of people aren't liking The Mandalorian Season 3 so far. I really don't understand why. If you're one of those who doesn't like it, let me know why in the comments. But for me, this is the best season so far. The story just seems more fluid. And who can honestly say that more Mandalorians is a bad thing? Who? Not me. The more Mandalorians to go a-wassailing with, the better. Don't think I'm trying to make you feel bad for not liking it. Star Wars has something for everyone, and everything in the Star Wars universe is not for everyone. You can quote me on that. I'm not going to do a regular review of this episode, but do I ever really do a review like others? Not really. There are a lot of people on YouTube giving their opinions, and mine is just another of those opinions. Form your own opinion. You're entitled to it, and your voice is just as important as mine or any other YouTuber. Instead of telling you a play-by-play, I'm going to give you my thoughts on some of the scenes presented. I'm also going to gloat a little bit. Not too much, though. But before we continue with The Mandalorian and bad jokes, that's a warning. A quick word from this video's sponsor. It's me. I pay for the stuff around here. I'm the sponsor. Anyways, hit the subscribe button and give the video a big stupid thumbs up. I'm on a voyage to hit 50,000 subscribers, and I'd like you all to be a part of that journey. I know every freaking YouTube channel asks for your subscription, but mine's special. Why? Because it's freaking Star Wars, baby. And I absolutely promise to deliver on my word. With me, you'll get the best Star Wars content YouTube has to offer, and I'll deliver it in a way that's fun and engaging. And it's all original content. No rehashes of what other channels talk about. So, subscribe and like. Cool beans?
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
Okay, let's get on with the show. The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 5, titled The Pirate, hit just a few hours ago. And what an episode it was. We got to see Mandalorians in action going against one of Davy Jones' pirate crew members. Just kidding. I know he wasn't from the famous Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Duh. His name is Gorian Shard, a mossy fellow who hails from under the sea. After his career of singing with Ariel the mermaid fell flat, Gorian resorted to pirating. With his eye on Navarro, Gorian just wanted to set up his own Navarro Has Talent on Greef Karga's peaceful planet that once welcomed such ilk. But High Magistrate Karga doesn't like singing. It's disruptive and makes people anxious. Seriously, though, the pirate wanted to make a home base on Navarro. Greef Karga sends a message to Carson Teva for help, and this brings us to something huge. What kind of a Star Wars fanatic would I be if I didn't mention the elephant in the room, or rather, the Lasat in the room, Garazeb Aurelius, affectionately known as Zeb from Star Wars Rebels. But here's a little fun fact. The design of Zeb was based off one of the first artist depictions of Chewbacca. Did you know that? But I digress. Here is Zeb in all of his live-action glory, and I have to say, wow. Just wow. This is our first glimpse into the story that will become the Ahsoka series, along with the Purrgil shown earlier in the season. And honestly, this cameo just really pumped me up for Ahsoka. But his appearance is short-lived. I said I wouldn't do a play-by-play, but what it comes down to is Carson Teva asked the New Republic to assist him in saving Navarro. They say, "No way, dude, you're on your own. Innocent lives don't matter to us, and neither does a rumor of the Empire." So he goes off and tracks R5-D4. Wait, how did he know Mando would have the droid? Curious. I guess Pelimato could have told him, but if he thought Peli had the droid, why would he track it? She wouldn't have been able to help unless he heard of her heroic adventures helping Boba Fett. Meh. Other things could have happened off screen, I guess. It isn't that big a deal. Din Djarin and the rest of the Children of the Watch agree to help Teva and Greef Karga in exchange for some land to call home. Finally, the Mandalorians will be able to come out of the dark and play in the light again. Immediately, Bo-Katan Kryze takes over as the party planning committee leader.
Michael should have asked the party planning committee first.
And this is something I've been saying all along, that Bo-Katan will show she is a strong leader. And after the success on Navarro, Bo-Katan is rewarded for her leadership by the Armorer. Okay, let's get this out of the way. It's time for me to gloat. Deal with it. I don't mind being wrong, but I do like when I'm right, like anyone would. I said that Bo-Katan wasn't a villain. Fact. Confirmed. I said that Bo-Katan wouldn't betray the Children of the Watch. Confirmed. I said that Bo-Katan would be a strong leader. Yep, same result. I said that the Armorer believed Bo-Katan Kryze when she told her that she saw a mythosaur. Right again. A few YouTubers have claimed that Bo-Katan will still challenge Din Djarin for the Darksaber, and he will throw the fight so she can have it. Well, I disagree with that. How honorable would Din Djarin be if he threw a fight? He's a Mandalorian. Fighting is kind of what they do. Even though Paz Vizsla gave a compelling argument as to why he deserved the Darksaber in the Book of Boba Fett, Din Djarin still defended it. But back to this episode. Bo-Katan Kryze is now the only one considered a Mandalorian by the Armorer and is permitted to remove her helmet. She is sent off to unite all Mandalorians. Sounds like a leader to me. She walks both worlds, and this is a huge step in changing the mindset that you can't be a Mandalorian if you remove your helmet. But I see their point. The helmet is their safety. Secrecy is how they survive. Even when I've been out in my own Mandalorian armor, I don't remove my helmet. This is the way. But who else thought the Armorer was going to call Bo-Katan out when she removed her helmet? I never thought of the Armorer as a villain or dishonorable Mandalorian. I just played off the music this time. But I'm glad that moment fleeted, which is another thing I was right about. The Armorer is not a betrayer. Okay, enough of the gloating. I like how the Mandalorians use a talking stick, or talking hammer in this case when someone has the floor. Nice touch, Jon Favreau. You don't have the stick, you can't talk. No talk for you. Then there's the fact that Moff Gideon has been rescued. By whom? I wonder. Thrawn, perhaps? We aren't going to know that until the end of The Mandalorian Season 3 anyways. I know how Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau work. They're saving the biggest surprise for an end credits scene in the finale. Not to mention, they want to leave us on a cliffhanger for the next 2 years. I was hoping the end credits scene would be a Book of Boba Fett Season 2 announcement, but now I'm leaning more towards it actually being Grand Admiral Thrawn. I'd like to see him come back as an anti-hero, but his time with Ezra Bridger has changed him, eventually leaving the Empire behind to team up with the New Republic and the Mandalorians to fight a bigger threat, the Grisk, who, by the way, if you don't know, are basically the new Yuuzhan Vong. I thought this episode was very well done. They didn't spend too much time on Carson Teva trying to get help for Greef Karga. It was almost a perfect balance of side story and main story. The visuals were also done very well. When Gorian Shard's ship crashed, I felt like I was there. Ship crashed. Shard's ship crashed. Man, that's a tongue twister. It looked real. Yeah, I know Hollywood can do a lot with this stuff, but a lot of the complaints of the newer Star Wars series was that the effects didn't seem realistic enough. More like a set. This improvement was a huge move for The Mandalorian and future Star Wars shows. I guess I could have just made a TikTok or something saying that last bit, but I just can't get over how good this episode actually was. Then there's the other bit that caught my attention pretty much right away. Not much cutesy Grogu stuff. Now, I like me some Grogu as much as the next Mandalorian fan, but there comes a time when he can't carry the show. Okay, maybe that was a bad choice of words. The Mandalorian has a strong storyline, and I don't think it needs brief silences crutched by Grogu doing something cute. Without Grogu being the center of attention, this episode felt more adult, and I think Baby Flavor Flav would have ruined that vibe. Yet again, another good call, Jon Favreau. Next episode? Sure, have a Baby Yoda moment doing something cute. Bring the newer Star Wars fans back into it and give the kids something to laugh about. Don't misunderstand. Like I said, I likes me some Grogu, but I applaud the choice to not make this episode about him. But wait, is it just me, or has the whole season really been about Bo-Katan Kryze? Or at least she has taken the spotlight. And that's okay. She's a great character. But so is Din Djarin. But I did say early on in The Mandalorian Season 2 that maybe Din Djarin wasn't going to remain the title character. That eventually we would see a shift, and they should probably change the name later on to The Mandalorians, plural, or just Mandalorian. But I like that the title becomes ambiguous the further we get into the series. I'll probably do another video on this episode either today or tomorrow. I want to watch it again and catch some things I may have missed or forgot to mention. What did you think of the episode? Did it make all your wildest dreams come true, or did it make you burn with raging inferno? I'd love to hear what you think. Your opinions matter to me as much as my own, even if we don't agree. And before we say goodbye with a sadness equal to that of The Notebook, yeah, I know you've watched it, who has 2 thumbs and sponsors this channel? This guy. Hit the subscribe button and give the video a like. I'm really trying to hit 50,000 subscribers, and I'd like you all to be a part of the next phase of this channel. The YouTube algorithm is more difficult than trying to figure out this simulation we live in. Okay, I don't really believe that, just to be clear. But together we can crack the matrix and make this video the most on-fleek channel to hit the internet. Did I use that word correctly? Geez, it's hard to understand the lingo of the modern hip youth of today. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. Until the next video, this is Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you all for watching. And remember, this is the way, and positivity in the Star Wars community should be the only way.